yes, I love ginger tea. I have one right
now.
Awesome. Okay. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon. Welcome. Okay. So this morning or today, I wanted to talk about sponsoring. Okay. So sponsoring, which is my personal, scariest part of this job, but probably not for many of you, but for me, it's an issue. So it's something that I've been working on and, taking some training on with Deb and things like that. And so I thought I would just bring some of that here and share it with you and see if it helps. And maybe it'll help your team. So maybe sponsoring isn't a struggle for you, but maybe it's something you could, work with for your team. And in fact, I was talking to somebody this week. I don't remember who it was, but I was talking to somebody and we were talking about things that we just already know, that came naturally to us. And so it's hard for us to teach those things because we don't know how we do them or we don't know how we did them to get to where we're at. And so sometimes it's good to go back and kind of take the training on the things even that you're good at so that you can figure out exactly how to teach other people. Okay, so we are talking, mostly it's going to be kind of about our mindset today and our sponsoring identity and what we're offering. So we're not going to be focusing on our products or our company on how to offer all of that because we all know people aren't joining the company. They're joining you. They could join any company. They're joining the person. So that's really what we're going to be focusing on today. And excuse me, I have the craziest allergies, so I will be rubbing my eyes and my nose and my face the whole time, I'm sure. Okay, so first things first, we want to ask ourselves, and you may want to write this down because I don't have a worksheet for this. These are all just my notes, so you may want to write these down.
You failed, DeBron.
Huh?
Failed.
Good job, Karen. Sorry, Tess. Yeah, you may want to write it down if this is.
No, I have. I'm good. I'm kidding.
Okay, that way you can use it when you're talking to your teams. So first things first, I want you to think about these questions and write down answers. So if you can't if you can't figure out the answer right now, write the answer down at some point, okay? Who are you looking for when you're sponsoring? How many people do you want to sponsor? So this kind of is reflecting that goal worksheet that we talked about a couple weeks ago. Why? What's the point? What's the impact that it will have for you? How will you feel and how will other people feel? How will the people feel? What's the impact for them, the people that you want to sponsor? Where are you going to find these people? And how? So how is a little bit of the plan, but also it's to kind of combat that self-doubt before it even creeps in, okay? Because we ask ourselves that how, but in a negative light, where we're like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? I want to sponsor 15 people this month. How am I going to do that? And that's a negative how. So I want you to automatically think of the positive how, so that when that negative how comes in, you've already got it figured out. Well, I'm going to do this. This is my plan. And it can automatically shut down that negative voice. Okay. Next.
So,
what? What?
Cass was typing. I told her to mute herself.
No, I was responding to somebody about the meeting who's messaging me.
Gotcha. Okay, next. I really like this tool that Deb has taught us to use. Is this a rating scale, a number scale, using on a scale of 1 to 10, rate yourself on how you're feeling for X or Y or whatever. And she uses this scale a lot, and I feel like it's really good for self-reflection and to kind of figure out exactly where you are and be honest with yourself. And it gives you a point, of this is where I'm at and this is where I want to be. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not confident at all and 10 being heck yeah, when you think about your ability to sponsor anyone, where are you on that scale? So 1 would be I can't sponsor anybody, I feel like. And this is how you feel, okay? And 10 is, oh, heck yeah, I can sponsor anyone, anytime, anywhere, bring them. Okay, now maybe make 2 columns, or I don't know, separate something on your sheet of paper so you can write where you're at right now and then where you want to be. Because we all want to be a 10. The 10 being absolutely bring it, yes, I can sponsor anyone, anytime, anywhere. But you may not be there, and that's not wrong. That's what we're working on. And I want you to write down the things on the left side of your paper, or on the side where you are right now. Write down the things that define that number. So why? Like, what are the things that you're telling yourself? When you think about sponsoring, do you automatically start thinking, I don't know if the people in my life really need this, or if I don't think people are really that interested, or I'm afraid that they won't succeed and then they'll be upset with me, or I'm afraid they're going to think this is a scam, or whatever the different things might be that you would tell yourself. Write those down. And then the feelings that you have, if you're frustrated, or is it a fear of failure, or maybe you aren't sure how to work with those people once you do sponsor them. Maybe that's something that keeps holding you back. Write all of those things down. And then I want you to think about the behavior that you have that reflects this number. So what do you do to keep yourself at this place? For me, it's just pure avoidance. I totally just avoid it. I get myself so busy with other things, and then I'm like, oh, look, I didn't have time to send as many messages today, or whatever. And I'm just being honest, that is my behavior that gets in the way, is avoidance. But maybe for other people, it's completely resisting, pushing people away. Maybe you get to the point in the conversation where you should be totally asking for that relationship, or that, completely offering the opportunity, and then you kind of like just give them a way out, like, oh, I get it, it's not for you, or whatever. So maybe you're resisting. Maybe you are like subconsciously just ruining all your attempts. You know what I mean? Like, you're word vomiting and you shouldn't word vomit, or you're being really like, oh, it's okay, it's, you're not bringing your true enthusiasm and joy into the conversation. So whatever the behavior is that you feel like might be keeping you from being at that 10, write that down. Those feelings, those emotions that we talked about, the behaviors that we just talked about, the things that we tell ourselves, those all together, that is your reason why we're at where we're at. And so that's what we're going to work on changing, so that we can get to that 10 in sponsoring. Now, here was something really interesting that I learned, and it was a huge aha moment for me. I find that I am kind of right in the middle. I rated myself when I did this exercise as a 5, and some days it's more of a 4, and some days it's more of a 6, but I'm pretty right in the middle. And the law of attraction shows that I will only be bringing people who are 5 or lower into my circle, into my sponsoring circle. That's who I'm attracting. And that for me was like a boom, like, oh my gosh, how can I expect to grow? How can I help these other women when that's the type of energy that I'm putting out and what I'm bringing in? So if we want to be bringing in those 8s, 9s, and 10s, people who are confident and ready to offer this opportunity, we have to be that level ourselves. We don't even have access to those people until we're at that level. So if you happen to get somebody who's an 8, 9, or 10 and you're not there, then it's almost like, have you ever had that where you sponsor somebody who is so strong and you're just like, oh my gosh, that, like, I can't even, you just feel like you can't even compete. I have nothing to tell you, nothing to teach you. I can't help you because you are way up here. And it's true. It's almost by, are you pointing to Taryn or Bobby? Both. It's almost like you feel like it happened just by chance, and it may have, because the law of attraction shows that we draw what we put out. And so, like I said, for me, that was a huge eye-opening moment. But when we raised it, it was all perspective, right? It was all how you're feeling. You gave yourself that number. So it's subjective. It can change. This isn't like a scientific, data collecting tool that puts out this number and that's exactly what you are and there's no change in it. This is a perspective thing. So it's how you're feeling about yourself, which is incredibly important and a very strong tool, but we can change it. We can change our own perspective. So that's what we're going to start working on, is changing our own perspective. So I'm going to give you 3 keys to help shift you from where you're at to where you want to be. Okay? And some of this is pretty fluffy, just a FYI. The first thing, and I think it would be really cool if we all did this as leaders and then kind of like started sharing it with our teams. The first thing is I want you to complete the following sentence. I am, and then make a list. So I want you to think about all of your gifts and your talents and your skills, your strengths, the things that people always compliment you on. What else? The things that you love to do, the things that just bring you joy, make your heart sing, the things that you would do whether you were getting paid or not. If you like the type of volunteer work you love to do or things like that. Figure out how do you finish that sentence? I am what? So it's going to be a whole assortment of things. And I think it would be cool if we made those into a graphic, where you wrote I am and then had this graphic. Like I imagined using, Word Swag or something where it would have all the different words and descriptions. And we could share that. I think that would be really cool. The second key is figuring out what is your personal mission, not the company's mission, but your personal mission. What are you here for? What is your passion? What drives you? And it might be something like, for me, I feel like I can't even figure out exactly what it looks like. But for me, my mission is I want to help women to see their value through the support and connection of other women. So I don't know what that looks like. I really don't. I don't know what that's going to be like someday or exactly how I will accomplish that mission, but it's so big. It's so big. I can't even really put a finger on it. And that's okay. Your mission might be like that. Write it down. And that's your, why are you here? That's what the mission is. And then the third key is how will you use your gifts and your talents and your skills, the things that bring you joy, the things that we put in that first list, how will you use those while working towards your mission to change lives? So what is the result that this will have on other people in your life? How will you benefit people? After you have these worked out, and this is something you would want to challenge your teams to do, figure out how you can put them somewhere where you see this all the time. This should be like a daily thing that you look at, a daily thing that you read. People talk about morning and nighttime affirmations. This would be part of that, looking and saying, okay, this is who I am. These are the skills and the gifts that I've been given and how I want to use them. This is the passion that I have that you can't even explain and how you're going to use it. So it's something, maybe like for some people, they like to make the poster boards or a dream board with these words on them. I'm not really into that. So I do it all digitally. I like to make the graphics and have it on my phone screensaver or print it and frame it, something like that. But something that is beautiful that you're going to want to look at and remind yourself every single day so that it sparks something bigger in you. So that when you are going out to sponsor, when you're having these conversations with what's in your life, you are confident and sure about who you are and what you have to offer and what you're passionate about, what your intent is. What is your mission with these women that are brought into your life? When we're passionate about that, that's when I think you'll start to see yourself going to that level 10, where you're feeling like that's who I am. This is my sponsoring identity. And it has nothing to do with the products, nothing to do with the company. It's all about you and this fire that you have. that's what people are going to want to be a part of. But here's the real key. That's what you're going to be excited to share. Deb said this one quote, if you don't see yourself as a 10, nothing about your company or your products can make up the difference. And that was another eye-opening moment for me. Like, wow, I focus a lot on the company in my sponsoring. I love our company. I love our company, and there's nothing wrong with that. But maybe that leads to my sponsoring being kind of flat, you know, and it leads me to being like, our company is great. I hope you think so too, you know, instead of coming from a place that's deeper. It's coming from that pit inside of you where you're just on fire. So I think that's what I've been learning. That's what I've been trying to work on for myself, is kind of realizing, like, that's why I feel like my sponsoring identity of that confidence number has been lower, because I'm not leading from me, from my heart, from my passion. So yeah, let's figure that out and teach our teams to do the same thing. That way we can have all the 10s and 9s and 8s on our team. Okay, so that was the stuff I wanted to share with you guys. Does anybody have any questions about that in particular?
I do not, but I'm going to have to catch the replay.
That's okay.
My kids keep fighting.
Oh, that's okay. I totally get it. We're actually almost done anyway. I wanted to suggest one thing to you guys. We did this in the Black page, and I don't know why I hadn't thought of it sooner, but we share in the Black Stripes page, people will pop on and share, you know, hey, I've, you know, so-and-so, and they'll put a screenshot or a link to somebody's Facebook profile. This girl on my team is running for this promotion, or this girl on my team just hit this milestone, or this girl on my team is, you know, struggling and needs some encouragement. And people will post these things, and we'll ask each other, you know, to go and comment or hi or shout them out or send them some encouraging messages or something like that. And it's huge. It makes a huge difference to the women that we're doing this for. And it is, we all love to do that, right? We all love to encourage and shout people out, but if we don't know about it, we can't do it. So I was thinking maybe we could start doing that for each other and for our circles. If we post them in our leader group and say, hey, you know, I've got this girl working towards pink. Could you guys go shout her out on my post? Or, you know, hey, this girl's struggling right now, but she's trying really hard and she just did 10 parties and they all bombed and she could really use some encouragement. Can you guys send her, you know, shoot her a quick message? I think that would be really, really helpful for all of us to be able to see where we can go to uplift each other. And then we don't have to worry about, like, I don't know, sending, you know, a message to each person, like, can you go shout her out? And can you go shout her out? And can you go shout her out? If we just post it in the leader page, then any of us who see it, we can just jump over there and do that. So if you guys would do that with me, I think it would be awesome. We could.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
I think so.
Okay. Awesome.
I like it.
Take a call, so I don't really know what we're talking about.
Oh, I was saying, like, for shouting out each other, you know, on our team, we could post them in the leader group and just say, hey, this person's running for this promotion. Could some of you guys go, you know, comment on this post, or, you know, stuff like that. Because it would simplify. That's okay. So anyway, yeah, I think that would be awesome. All right, guys. Well, does anybody have anything they want to chat about? Any questions, comments, concerns, ideas? No?
No.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. It was good to see you. And have a fabulous day. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.